How you doing? Are you doing well? Thanks for joining me and Dorothy on this Saturday morning walk and chat. And over the course of all these videos, I think my theme, what I'm trying to sort of tell you guys, is that there are ways you can, or techniques you can use to just sweeten life, peaceful, be more happy in more moments of the day. And all the fear that's been sort of bred into us and over the years and societal conditioning has left us in a bit of a poor state, really. By the time we come out of school, we're proper messed up. Yeah. We've been conditioned. We've not been allowed to flourish or thrive on an individual basis. The collective is more important. While that's great, just nothing for the individual's mental health, mental condition. And from a very early age, we're taught that we need to compete. Yeah. Early games are about competition. We watch our parents, siblings, all competing. So we think that this must be the way. But I've been reading the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu for the best part of several months now. And if you're not familiar with the book, it's a collection of 81 statements is the wrong word, paragraphs that are supposedly ancient wisdom teachings. And the statements are very contradictory. You read them, you can read them and read them. You may never understand some. You may understand bits of some of the statements. When you read through them, and I just tend to pick it up, maybe one statement or two I've obviously read before, but some of my understanding increases slightly each time I read, or I'd like to think so anyway. But the underlying theme of that, some of those statements, is that we need to understand who we are, obviously, but that flexibility is very important, and competition doesn't serve us. So we teach our children from an early age to be competitive. When we're in fear, our ego kicks in, and we believe that we need to compete for resources, food, time, whatever. There's always competition, because it's been bred into us. I don't watch any sport now. I used to partake in quite a bit, never enjoy watching any sport. But when you go to a football match or a sports event of any type, there are what tends to be two lots of supporters. One support one team, one not support the ones. So at the end of that match, there's going to be, if one wins and one loses, if there's draws, you tend to be all unhappy. But either way, only half of that group of people are going to be happy, really, if their team wins. And that affects people's emotional state when their team loses. I've seen it firsthand. He'd be actually unhappy and depressed for a while, some longer than others. But conversely, if we take that as an example of what competition does to us emotionally, psychologically, what sort of example can we use where competition's taken out? Well, as I just mentioned, I had a gig last Friday with a band. It's a fantastic gig, and I'm the bass player. If you've not come across some of the videos where I've mentioned it before, I play bass. And when you're playing with a group of musicians, there's no competition there. If there is, the band is not going to be balanced. And for a band to shine, you've got to realise it's a collaborative working. You're collaboratively creating. It's not, I'm trying to do my best to outdo the guitarist, the drummer, the saxophone player. Sure, during his solos, he's got the limelight, but the rest of the band are there to try and make him sound even better. So all the members of the band, their objective is to make each other sound better. It's totally opposite of competition. And the crowd and the night, yeah, sure, they may have come to see one of the members of the band, and they may even, when I go to watch a band, tend to sort of gravitate towards listening to the bass line and watching the bass play because I play bass. But then the night, there's no winners and losers. No one's going home unhappy because their member of the band didn't perform well. And if you start to treat life a little bit less like competition and more like a song that you're partaking in and doing your bit, you'll change the way you conduct your life. You will, because you know that competition, while it may serve you, it's not serving others. And there's nothing better, nothing feels better in life to me than making someone else feel good. When I'm playing the band, the feedback, the crowd are moving and grooving, that's the best feedback. That's all I want to see. That's just the best. So if I can carry that attitude and feeling into my everyday life, where I can try and lift people rather than compete against them, everyone's a winner. And you've got to teach yourself that this is the sweeter feeling way. Oh, nearly went. It's very muddy right now. Lots of water and mud everywhere. But you've got to realise that that's a sweeter way to live. We don't need winners and losers. You just need happy people. Yeah. And I understand that it doesn't come naturally. We're natural when we were born, for the first couple of years of our lives maybe, until we were conditioned and told that we have to, you've got to fight for life. It's survival of the fittest. I don't know about you, but I'm very fortunate where I live and the time I've been born. the opportunities I've been given. It's allowed me to live a life where, for the most part, I never have to worry about my safety or security or lack of food or water. So lots of them are taken care of. So should be happy all the time. But we have to walk through our lives and experience situations which are there to ultimately teach us. But we have to cope with these situations. And the only power we have to deal with these situations is the power of how we choose to react and what we choose to believe about ourselves. And you have that power. But it's react instinctively the majority of the time. From, again, social conditioning and responses, historical responses we've built up over time, and almost what we're expected, how we're expected to react. But it's under your control. And if you really, really want to experience happiness, there's many moments of the day, you're going to have to train yourself. Come on, Dorothy, we're not going there. Come here. It's hard to go this path we've never been on before. Come on, this way. So you've got to teach yourself. And realising that you need to teach yourself, and that there are ways, guaranteed ways. I assure you. I've said before, I was not always this happy. I'm content and peaceful. Now I'm peaceful the majority of the time in my waking hours. It's just a habit I choose to cultivate with myself and place it that highly that I'm prepared to dedicate time to ensuring that it gets sweeter. And we'll do this in video, but affirmations, I've mentioned them there a few times now, but they work. Because you're going to believe what you tell yourself, whether it's good or bad. So if you're repeating to yourself positive statements that resonate with your emotions and open your heart, during that time, that session time, you're saying your affirmations, your heart will open. You'll be just start to feel peace in your body, and your heart will respond by making when it opens. Some of the affirmations I say really resonate, and they're such nice and feel so nice just to say, because I can feel in my heart how those words ultimately mean to me, and how they conjure a picture in my imagination. But they do work, but it's daily practice. You have to practice daily. When I was learning to play bass, you start by figuring out where to put your fingers to produce the right sounds, and eventually you'll work on to where you become a bass player who can string sounds together, string tones and notes together to make a melodious tone. It feels nice. And during that practice you'll hit the wrong note and you have to start again. And that's like the affirmational journey. You'll find the odd affirmation that feels good. And as you say more, you'll come to sort of understand, and it'll feel differently when you say them over a period of time. And I say them daily. I don't just say them daily when I'm driving. If I've got a long drive, I'll put them on and listen to them for about 45 minutes. And it's just, you're not thinking of anything else. You're focusing on how those sounds feel within your body. And they'll produce the outcome, guaranteed. You've got to have daily practice. I'll sign off now because I've rattled on for a fair while. So, have a great weekend, and I'll hopefully catch you soon. Take care for now. Bye bye.